Hello viewers, today we are going to discuss the core competency of C.B.C. This is known as imagination and creativity. Note, it is imagination and creativity and not vice versa, not creativity and imagination. No. So, when it comes to understanding this core competency, first of all, you have to define the two terms, that is imagination, and then you define creativity. For imagination, it simply means thinking or creating ideas in the mind, ideas or images, and then once you create these ideas in the mind, you bring them out and make them real, make them reality. So when you are creating them or bringing them out to become reality, then we say you have attained this core competency, which is known as imagining and creating. We all know everything that is in this world that was not created by God, probably is created by man. And how did man do it? Man did it through the process of imagining and then creating. We can say also that man can also do the process of imagination and creativity when he identifies some gaps in what is already created by others or by himself. For example, the person who made this in glass realized that he could not take the liquid things without a container. So he made or imagined and created the glass. After creating the glass, he also realized there is a gap, or someone else may come and realize there is a gap in this glass. When, for example, you put something hot, let's say your milk which is hot in this glass, you get burnt to an extent that you can even drop it and break the glass. So to solve this problem on being burnt by the glass, man identified or imagined of how to fill in that gap that is missing. So he imagined of a cup which is having an handle, you can say. And therefore, he created or brought it into creativity and came up with a cup. So, in creativity, everyone is thinking, everyone is imagining ideas. But the difference is, there are those people who will imagine the ideas, very good images, form them in the mind, but they will never bring them into reality. We don't want our learners to be this category that always think of very good ideas, imagine of very good images, but they don't bring them into reality. Because if you are not bringing the imagined or the formed ideas in mind into reality, then we cannot attain any socio-economic or any political or technological development. Therefore, it is the duty of the teachers, we teachers, to encourage our learners to think, to imagine, and once they imagine, they try to bring out, to give birth to those ideas and images they have formed in their mind. And they can bring them out through either orally, they speak them. Like someone can think of a story and tell a very nice story. Or they can write them down, put them in writing. A learner can write a very good poem. It is imagined. So the writing is creating. The learner can also make the real thing that he has imagined of or design it. A learner can make something like this. Then whoever made this used the this imagination and creativity. The learner can only a wool and a crochet, and after imagining and drawing patterns in the mind, then the learner was able to make baby shoes, or the learner can also be able to make baby shoes. This is a baby shoe. The learner can be able to make that, or even the learner can use the same imagination and make a baby's dress So it is up to us, the teachers, to help our learners to imagine, and after they have imagined, those ideas should not die in the mind, but they produce them, they bring them out through the methods we have already enumerated. Now, to encourage your learners to sharpen this imagination and creativity competency, you must do the following. One, engage them in the key inquiry question, all of them in the class. Engage them to answering the key inquiry questions which are open-ended. Then, ensure that your learners, all of them again, participate, take part, all of them, in the stipulated lesson activities. For example, discussing and presenting in class. For example, dramatizing. For example, modeling. For example, composing poems, songs, prayers, and stories. And when you engage them in these lesson activities, it will help to nurture their core competency of imagination and creativity. Also ensure your learners take a simple exploration, even if it means within the school or within outside the school compound, and they interact with nature. As they interact with nature, they will form so many questions that they will answer, or you will together with them answer, and these ones will build on their imagination and creativity. Also ensure your learners participate in the community service learning, because during this community service learning, they interact with so many people who help to sharpen their imagination and creativity. But remember, this community service learning should be timed so that it doesn't turn into child labor. At the same time, the learner is accompanied by trusted people, the teacher or the parent or the guardian. Then ensure that learners participate in creating, bringing in the teaching aids that you are going to use in a lesson. Do not be the sole creator or the solo man who is always preparing teaching aids for your learners. Let the learners also participate in creating them. For example, if you know the next lesson will be the birth of baby Jesus in the CRE learning area or activities, you can maybe indicate to the learners that when a child is born, when a baby is born, the baby is naked. Then instruct them to make, or during that lesson, to have prepared the clothes for the baby using the locally available materials like papers, eh, like cartons. Maybe someone can use a carton to make a baby cot, or they can even go to an extent of using the crochet and the hole to make the baby clothes, the real baby clothes, and then they bring the class. So when they are engaging in this homework that you've given them, they are sharpening, they are nurturing their core competency of imagination and creativity. Then ensure your learners are involved in the non-formal education programs. Imagine a learner who participates in, let's say, a program like drama, is in drama or is in the debating club. Those learners are able to sharpen their core competency of imagination and creativity even when they come back to class. They are able to do so many things. They are able to do so many things, and therefore their learning will be excelling. All these will be excelling within their learning. Thank you for paying attention. Kindly subscribe to my work and also